Hi, this is Editor Troxel. In today's tutorial we're going to continue this series, and this time we're going to add all the track header information that we find over there. We'll take a look at the various kinds of pieces that we're going to be copying over and then see how to copy them. So let's take a look at how we can copy the track information. First of all, let's take a look at our current project, and you will see now we have some parent and child tracks. So track 2 is a parent to track 3 and track 4. So these two tracks are now children to this track. So we want to be able to copy that over. Then here, our compositing mode for track 1, I've changed to hard light. Our compositing mode on track 2 is still source alpha, but I've changed the compositing level to 50%. And the parent composite mode has been changed to add. And then this is an adjustment track. I have not made any changes to it. On this particular track, I also have not made any changes to it, but like I said, this is a child to track 2. And then we have our audio tracks, which I have not made any change to. We have also muted track number 1. So we want all of that information to be copied over to the new project as well. So looking at our previous project, here is where we are adding the tracks. And so we said if not track added, then we're adding a video track, which is either an adjustment track or a video track. And then once the track is added, we're copying the effects already. And then now we want to copy the video track settings. And so we're copying it to the new video track from the My Track, which is in the current project. And then down here we are adding a new audio track, and we're doing the same thing here, except we're doing a copy audio track settings because the audio tracks are slightly different than the video tracks. So down here I have my copy audio track settings and copy video track settings routines. So under the copy audio track settings, which we're getting 2 audio tracks, the one we're copying to, the one we're copying from, and I'm copying the name from the current project over into this new project. We're copying invert phase, mute, pan X, solo, and volume. So those are the settings that we're copying over to the new project. Now under the video, we're also copying the name, then we're copying bypass motion blur, and then here's the composite level, which on that one track we changed to 50%. And then here's our composite nesting level, which we have a couple of child tracks, so those will be changed. And then we're copying the mute and the solo. And then we want to set the composite mode of that track equal to the composite mode on the current track. So we changed the 1 on the current project, and we'll see if that gets copied over. Then, if it's a compositing parent, we want to also change the parent. So let's see how this works. And we immediately get an error. So let's see what the error is telling us. It's telling us that we cannot do a set composite mode base, and it's showing us where it is here. So it says track is not a compositing parent. So if we go back and look at exactly what's happening here, I'm trying to create the tracks as we go down, and so I'm working my way down, and we hit a parent track. And then we're trying to change the parenting compositing mode of that track. But if you think about it, we're working our way down the tracks, and so the child track is not there yet. Because the child track is not there yet, we have no way of creating a parent compositing mode because it's not a parent yet. So let's go back and change the code and see if we can make it work. What I decided to do instead, this is back up at the top of the script, I created me another little class called Parent Tracks. And what I'm going to do is keep track of the track ID and the parent composite mode for that track. And of course it's only going to do this for tracks that are parents. And then I created me a new list of parent tracks, which I just called PT for parent track. And that's just a new list. So now I've created me a list where I can put all the parent track compositing information. So what I'm going to do is back down here, if my track is a compositing parent, then I want to create a new parent, which is of type parent tracks, which is a new parent tracks. Then my new parent.track ID I'm setting equal to my new tracks index. And then the new parent composite mode I'm setting equal to the current composite mode in the current project. And then I'm adding a new entry into my list. Now, in order to get this to work, there's a couple different ways you could do it. I chose what I considered a very simple method, and that is up here I set my properties to public. That way the routine could see track ID and parent composite mode without me having to go in and add the gets and sets and all that kind of stuff. If you want to go ahead and do it the other way, that's fine. Then we had to add this after we've gone through all of our tracks. So after we've gone through our tracks, if I had a parent track, if my parent track.count is greater than 0, then I'm going to go through each of my entries in the parent tracks. Now I need to get my video track, which is of type video track, from new project.tracks, and I want to get it from the list track ID. Once I have the track ID, I've got the current track that I want to look at, and then on that particular track I'm going to do the sent parent composite mode, and I'm going to get that from the value that I saved. And by using this sent parent composite mode, you'll notice that the second parameter is a show warning dialog. Depending on the changes you make, you could actually lose information. So in both cases, I set this equal to false. If you look down here, set composite mode, my track.composite mode, false, so that there's really nothing to lose in this particular case because there was nothing there to begin with because I'm creating new tracks. So now that we've made this change and gone through and added the parent composite modes, let's see if it runs now. Okay, now it ran. Let's come over here, open our test project. Now you can see the first track is muted. The first track also has a composite mode of hard light, which is what we had it set to. The second track has a parent mode of add, which is what we had changed it to, and the composite level is at 50%. And then no changes to the adjustment track, but it does have the same name that we gave the other one. And then on this last one, it is also a child of track 2, and no other changes were made to it. And then of course we have the audio, and no changes were made to that as well. So now we've been able to copy all of the information that's on the track headers, including volume, composite level, composite settings, mute, solo, all kinds of the settings that are available. And so that takes us a step further in getting everything copied over. So I hope you like this tutorial. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.